You're listening to Operation Self Reset, episode 176. Let's build up that brain. What's going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to another great episode of Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, here to motivate, inspire, and to personally get you to change just a little bit. Today, we're going to be talking about building the brain. We're going to get huge, people. Grab your little whey protein shake, grab your little gym towel, grab your shake weights, your yoga mat, your five-finger toed shoes, and of course, your back squatting belt, because we are going to get huge here. We're going to rep it out, feel the burn, and we're going to make our brain just scream of full intensity. It's all kind of based off of different research and ideas when it comes to making sure our mental state is as clear as what we want it to be. So before we get into that awesomeness, of course, who is excited about building your brain? I know I am. So let's get into what we do best. It's called the Awesome Sauce, where we scream at the top of our lungs, I'm freaking awesome. Before you fast forward, because I know probably some of you people are, nonetheless, I finally had got around to creating a video of around 7 or 8 different individuals from literally around the world. They sent me a video of them screaming, I'm freaking awesome, in front of different monuments, from people screaming it in the mountains, to in their car, to the Golden Gate Bridge, in restaurants. Awesome collaboration of some amazing individuals that had the courage to send me a video of them screaming, I'm freaking awesome. I edited it in a very cool facet, added some really cool music, and if you want to check out that video, you can go on YouTube, and I think it's, the title is like Be Freaking Awesome, and or join the Facebook fan page. Go to facebook.com/OSR fan page, and you can find the 1 minute video on there. It's really cool. I think it's awesome. I think it's freaking awesome. Everybody I showed it to loves it. So if you want to see other people doing it and to realize that, wow, there's actually somebody more than just Jake screaming it in his office in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you will be impressed by the other individuals. I was actually talking to a good friend of mine, Jordan, who will be coming on the podcast here shortly, within the next couple of episodes, and him and I were saying, like, it just shows that it'll bring out the courage in other people to do it. And I think we are, pack animals. We're individuals that like to see other people do it first before we do something. So if you need a little kick in the pants, or you need to see somebody else scream, I'm freaking awesome, for you to feel comfortable that you can do it, then please, please, please find that video, watch it maybe 5 times, and have at it. And also, too, if you're a raging fan of the show and you want to show support to me, it'd be really cool if you could send me a video of you or your friends, family, whoever, coworkers, screaming, I'm freaking awesome at the top of your lungs. And it would be really, really impactful. So I thank you in advance. So with that being said, let's do our magic, our awesome sauce, I call it, where we stand in a position of power with our chest out, shoulder blades back, our arms overhead. You can do the finger shaking. You can do the hang 10, the bull horns, the pinkies out, the index fingers, the middle fingers. It doesn't matter, people. And we do this. We scream, I'm freaking awesome, chin up, looking towards the vision of ourselves. If you're driving your car, clench your buttocks, squeeze that steering wheel, lock those elbows. If you are working out or you're doing something where you cannot participate, I want you to visualize yourself just going all out here. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, I'm freaking awesome! Yes! And now that I reflect on that video, I remember that I actually forgot to add, I forgot to add a company that screamed, I'm freaking awesome. I got to add you into that video. I totally messed up. Wow. Isn't it funny how sometimes your brain just catches up with you and you do something and then it just hits you and you're like, man, I forgot to do that one thing. I forgot to file my taxes. Or I forgot to take my I forgot to take my child out of the car. I don't know. It never happened to me. I'm just saying, hypothetically, it may happen to you. Nonetheless, let's get into the work here, because this is our mental work. This is what it's all about, of growing, becoming better for ourselves so we can serve the people that are in our lives. As you know, there are times in our lives we get highs and lows, and when we're at our lowest lows, it feels like we have nothing left, right? Our tank is completely empty, but this episode is all about filling up our tank, getting mentally strong. Now, for some of you, there's an obvious correlation between athletics and mental toughness, right? We all understand, those extreme triathletes, ultra marathon runners that run like 60 miles in a day, Navy SEALs, Olympians. It doesn't matter. We understand the correlation between physical activity and mental toughness. But we also need to figure out and to link the correlation between mental toughness and daily life, just daily living. And a lot of us choose not to make that link, because we look at other people, we see them working out, we see them working on their bodies, we see them pushing their quote-unquote limits, and we go, wow, that's mental toughness. That guy has it. And as you may be in a corporate world, in a job where you do not have that mental toughness that you feel because you're not pushing your body to that 10th degree. And for the third individual that's listening to this right now, so the first individual is the people that understand the link between athletics and are part of that and pushing mental toughness because they do something that challenges them mentally and physically. The second individual is for the individual that does not feel that they have the ability to challenge themselves physically, but they understand the correlation. And the third person that doesn't understand any of this because they never really challenge themselves physically, they don't understand mental toughness, and they don't think there's really a link. I want you to try this. And even for the people that are physically tough, mentally tough, or the individuals that feel that they don't have the ability to challenge themselves physically because you're swamped, family, crazy situation, whatever it may be, all I want you to do is to carve out 4 minutes of your time. Just 4 minutes. Now, why 4 minutes? Well, as you may know, I work for the fire department, and the fire department, we have yearly kind of physical PT check marks that we have to hit upon. And one of those check marks that we have to hit upon is called the plank. The plank is nothing more when you get down on your elbows and you're almost like in a plank. Your back is flat, your butt is flat, your feet are on the ground, and you're raising your belly and your legs and your chest off of the ground, and you're kind of resting on your elbows, and you're resting on the tips of your toes. And there's no real movement to this other than you just hold that position, hold the plank for 4 minutes. Now, if what I described is absolutely not making sense to you, go on your phone, go on Google, just type in how to perform the plank or how to do a plank, and there's like a billion videos. I mean, it's a very standard exercise. Now, the whole exercise behind the plank is that it focuses in on your core. It tightens up your core. It tightens up your hamstrings. It tightens up your butt, tightens up your abs, all the different quadrants. And not only that, it really puts a number on your shoulders, your elbows. It's a full body workout. It really is. It really is. Now, if you never experienced challenging yourself and you may be thinking, well, that sounds really simple. All I have to do is kind of get off the ground and hold that position for 4 minutes. There's a lot that goes into it mentally. Because as I said, and as you think, the plank is not that challenging. There's no real technical difficulty. You're not doing something, you're not putting, heavy weight on your chest, or you're trying to bench press or curl or do anything crazy. You're using your body weight and you're in a very still position. And you may be thinking that sounds way too easy. Well, I challenge you to use your phone as a timer, to get down on some carpet or your hardwood floor, wherever you feel is comfortable, and to hold that plank position for 4 minutes. Because I'm going to tell you what happens here. Within the first 30 to 40 seconds, you're going to start to feel the pain start to sneak on in. When you hit that 1 minute mark, you start questioning yourself, why am I really doing this? The minute and a half mark, you start to shake a little bit. The 2 minute mark, you're really thinking about quitting. The 2.5 minute mark, you realize this is ridiculous. I'm better than this. I don't need to do this. Who am I trying to prove? And your mental stability starts to quiver, and that's where a lot of people start to lose it. Now, you may be thinking, Jake, I'm tough, man. I'm mentally tough. This will not faze me. This is not to prove to Jake or to prove to anybody that you can hold the plank for 4 minutes. This is to prove my connection between mental toughness and daily life. That you can automatically fire up that doubt man that sits in your brain. The doubt man is a little individual, I call it, that has all these levers and stuff like that. Have you ever seen the movie Inside Out? It's a Disney movie, and Inside Out is nothing more than characters that run around in this girl's brain. And they have this control panel, and they can see everything that the girl's doing. It's like through the eyes of the girl. And, there's different emotions. The emotion of joy, anger, scared, doubt or something, whatever. It doesn't matter. But nonetheless, there's this doubt man that hangs out in your brain that pulls on different levers. And if you want to activate that little guy talking to you, all I have to say is get yourself in a plank, hold it for 4 minutes, and you will feel him around the 2-minute mark. For some of you, it's going to be within 30 seconds. For some of you, you may not even feel it until all the way to the end. But nonetheless, you're going to start to hear those questions of doubt. You're going to start to hear the reasoning. You're going to start to hear the negotiations happen between you, your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind, aka the doubt man. And so this exercise is nothing more than to activate it and to make you realize, wow, I need to get mentally tough here. I really got to get my brain in alignment of where I want to go. Because let's take a step back here. In the grand scheme of our lives, we all want to achieve something, right? We are all here listening to this for some odd reason. Either you just like the funny stories or you're actually getting the content from this, but you're implementing your life because you know you want to be more, see more, do more, become more, achieve more, whatever that more thing is for you. And the only way to get to that objective is to break through the mental barriers that hold you back. And those mental barriers are nothing more than that subconscious mind talking to you, negotiating with you, and telling you to quit. You don't have to do this. Who you trying to prove? All those things. And so it's about time that we strengthen our mind. We start repping it out. And so the question is, how do we start repping it out, right? How do we start building up our brain so we can conquer it, so we can push through, and so that we can hold that plank for 4 minutes? Again, the plank is nothing more than a metaphor. You can use the plank as like, breaking through an illness, trying to reach a goal, trying to go and get a new job. The plank is just a metaphor for whatever that thing is that you're trying to break through for. But before we start strengthening our brain, and I got 3 ideas for you, I want to first kind of talk about this thing that a lot of great philosophers always talk about. It's stimulus versus response, almost the cause and the effect. The stimulus is this thing that kind of, it's you getting down in the position for the plank, and the response is how are you going to handle it? And in between there, if you could think of the stimulus on the left side, the response on the right side, in between, these philosophers call this the gap. The what you can control. The gap is what you can control. Are you going to allow that stimulus to win, or are you going to allow the response that you give it to win? The gap is where you and I sit on a daily basis. And depending on the circumstances, depending on the moment, sometimes we dive really bad into the stimulus, right? We get wrapped up in it. Or we pull ourselves out of that mess and we go immediately over to the response of freaking out and irate, anger, emotion. And Jack Canfield has an awesome equation that a lot of us need to memorize and implement in our life more often. And it's this. The event plus a response equals the outcome. E+R equals O. E+R equals O. And it makes us realize the event that happens in our life, it is what it is, right? There's no way you can control a flat tire. There's no way you can control a bounce check. You can control it, but sometimes it feels like you can't control it, right? And what is the response that we give it? The flat tire. You freak out, you go irate, you're pissed off at the world, you go into the job, you're irritated, your work is poor, you go home, you pour it onto your family because you know that they can take it and you're in a comfort zone. Your response is a hot mess. It's not doing anything good for anybody. And so then what is the outcome? The outcome is poor performance, a bad relationship, irritable spouse or kids, and of course, an irritable you. And so when we reflect and we know and we try to figure out mental toughness, it's not so much just, okay, what do I need to learn to get myself stronger in the sense of being a mentally tough individual? It's understanding what we can control. The events, the stimulus that's out there in the world, it is what it is. Sometimes we can control it, sometimes we can't. And when we can't, the only thing that we can control is the way that we respond to that event, that thing, that stimulus, that action. And in the example of the plank, the event is you're down on the ground holding this plank for 4 minutes. What is your response? You can be irritated, pissed, you'd be disappointed, judgmental, questioning why are you even doing this? Or your response could be, wow, this is really challenging. This is going to be a game changer. I'm going to see this through. And what's going to be the outcome? Obviously, if you have a positive mind, it's going to be a positive outcome. If it's going to be a negative experience, it's going to be a negative outcome. You're going to give up and quit on yourself. And so the reason why a lot of people quit and give up is not because they just couldn't hack it. It's because somehow, some way, that doubt man took control of the environment that they were in, which allowed them to quit and fail on themselves. 90%, even probably higher, 98% of all people that quote-unquote decide to quit is not usually because of external force. If you were watching The Selection, which was a History Channel kind of documentary / TV show about 30 individuals that decided to get trained by elite special force military personnel over the course of 10 days. They started with 30 individuals, and they went all the way down to 4. 4 made it through the 10 days of craziness. Planks, push-ups, runs, torturing sessions, all this crazy stuff. And out of the 36 or the 26 people, if I could do quick math here, 26 people that quit, I think maybe 1 or 2 of them had actual physical ailments. The other individuals quit. They just legitly quit. They just couldn't hack it. They couldn't do it. Mentally, they were not in the game. And so where does this leave you and I? How do we strengthen our brain so we don't quit, so we don't give up? Now, these 3 ideas are not going to give you that this is the secret sauce here. This is the this was found in a temple in Egypt, and it was carved on this weird alien stone, and this is the secret to life. To be honest, I'm kind of building up more than maybe what it is, but these are the 3 ideas. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna say these are the 3 ideas. All right, so take it or leave it. Here we go. To get ourselves mentally tough so we do not quit and we do not give up on ourselves. Because, again, if you're in that plank, you're going to feel like you want to quit. You're going to give up on yourself because you're going to justify and negotiate what you want to feel. And the way that you want to feel is not in pain, so you're going to get out of that situation any chance you can. So how do we strengthen our brain to continuously to push through, even though our brain wants us to think otherwise? The 3 ways are this: meditation, 2nd is win, and 3 is the 1%. All right, let's start with meditation as number 1. Meditation, I'll be honest with you, it's one of the most ridiculous things out there. It's the hottest topic. It's the most talked about. It's the coolest gadget in the world. There's apps and things that go in your head and pulse oximeters and craziness. You type in meditation, you will be bombarded from now until kingdom come about all the different ways on how to meditate, the right way, the wrong way. You got to smell lavender. No, you got to smell thieves oil. No, you need to have a salt lamp. No, you got to drink this crazy potion tea. You got to get knocked out for 19 hours. You got to do it in isolation. You got to dig a hole in your backyard. You got to crawl into that hole. You got to have somebody bury you, and you got to lay there in peace and think to yourself. All this crazy stuff. Meditation is one of those things that A, I know I should be doing more of. B, you should be trying it, at least trying to get into it. Because C, the actual results are there. It's scientifically proven. This is not some foobar or some ridiculous stuff that's out there in the world. You think it's nonsense. It actually works. Now, why? Why did I incorporate this as one of my 3, even though I need to continuously get better at it? I'm not a guru yet. Because of this. When you sit down and you try to meditate for even a minute to 20 minutes, it doesn't matter the time, your brain will disconnect from your present moment and will start floating into the abyss. It will start running around and start thinking about all the things you have to do today. And somewhere in there, you have to like be conscious, like, whoa, what the heck happened? And you grab that brain and you pull it back to yourself. And in that moment, you do a quote unquote rep. As in, you sit there, you're meditating. All right, breathing exercise, clear mind. You're focusing on yourself. You're focusing in that moment, and your brain starts to drift off like some of you are right now. Hey, if you're drifting off right now, bring it back. Pull it in, people. Pull it in. Because that's what meditation is. Now, the reason why that's so important is because you are doing something that is not stimulating. You're doing something where you really don't feel a response. You're doing something that is absolutely relaxing and calming. And when you get into that calm and relaxed state, your brain starts to float away. When your brain starts to float away, you got to grab that bad boy, bring that bad boy back in. That is a rep. The more reps that you do, the stronger your brain gets. The reason why there is so much research and documentation, scientific research behind meditation is because of this. It absolutely works. It challenges yourselves and allows individuals to be more focused, more productive than they ever could be without it. And so the reason why I believe that to be mentally tough, to build up that brain, you need to practice meditation to strengthen your brain without using a physical means. Some people love CrossFit because they love the physical challenge. But not only that, they love the mental challenge because they love to see other people sweating, getting crazy, and wanting to quit, but they succeed through and they push through. And at the end, they get this huge euphoric release. If you do not like that type of style, then meditation is your cup of tea. And even if you are the type of person that loves to get nitty-gritty and down and dirty and to do all that crazy CrossFit stuff, then I suggest you tap into the meditation realm. You need to start pulling in that brain, keep on pumping out those repetitions. The more repetitions that you do, the stronger that you will get. The stronger that you get in meditation, the stronger you will get in your day-to-day life with your focus, with your blocking of time, and things like that. So the second one is based off of blocking time, which is this: win. This is from Michael Phelps' book. I totally forgot the name, but Michael Phelps wrote a book, and he talked about this win principle. W-I-N. What's important now? W-I-N. What's important right now? Now, the question for you is, okay, cool, Jake. All right, what's important for me right now? Well, I got to take the kids to school. I got to eat. I got to, use a restroom. I got to do all this crazy stuff. But what's important now, as in what will progress you to moving forward in your own personal life? That's the question. What is important now? Now, for some of you, I know you guys are movers and shakers. Some of you guys are in the corporate world. Some of you guys are entrepreneurs. Some of you guys are health freaks. Some of you guys are just trying to achieve everything that you can in your life. Totally cool. But nonetheless, all of us can agree that no matter if you're in your business or in your health or your spiritual side or your family, you need to have boundaries. You need to be 100% dialed in and block that time. Now, blocking time is a huge, huge tactic when it comes to time management. Time management is one of those, again, that you could look online. There's a billion different ways to do it. One of the recurring themes is this: to block the time, aka to be dialed into something for from anywhere from 5 to probably an hour. I personally love 20 minutes. I was not always a guy that enjoyed 20 minutes. I was a guy that enjoyed 5 minutes. And then from there, I grew up and I became better, as in quote-unquote focused, and allowed me to dial in, to be very immersed within that 20 minutes time frame. But there's also a little secret sauce when it comes to time blocking, and it's this: the 3 R's. You need to remove all distractions that are going on for you to win, to what's important now, to achieve that win. What's important now, right now, you need to remove the distractions, aka turn off your phone in airplane mode, aka shut off notifications on your desktop or your laptop, aka move into a position where you can be comfortable. As in, if you cannot handle ambient noise or you don't like music, remove yourself from that situation. Remove distractions. First R. Number 2 is remind. This was a big one for me. I could understand the concept of blocking time. I could understand the concept of removing distraction. But the one thing, when I would dial in for about 10, 15 minutes, I would lose track of what I was doing. I would have the monkey brain, right? I would go, oh, I'm working on this project. I'm writing out this blog article or doing this one thing. Oh, boom. I instantly start thinking about my real estate properties. Oh, I got to cash those checks. Well, let me sign the checks. And next thing you know, I'm signing checks and, going through my Excel sheet of all the things that are wrong with the buildings that I got to fix and all that stuff. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I need to focus in here. You need to remind yourself what you're doing. How do you do that? You set a postcard on the things that you know you're going to get distracted on. AKA on your computer screen, AKA on your mouse pad, AKA on your keyboard, AKA on a bunch of papers that are sitting to the left of you or to the right of you or up or down or whatever. You need to have a reminder, because when you do grab for that thing, or when you do lean on over to touch that pencil, which leads to you signing checks or doing other crazy stuff, you need to have reminders set around your office or your area where you're blocking your time, so you're dialed in. So you go, okay, I can't focus on that right now. And it allows you to get back to the dialed in principle. Now, the third principle links up to that second one. So we got remove distractions, remind ourselves of what we're doing, and recall. Recall what you need to do. In the moments of when we're blocking time, in the moments of when we are trying to accomplish our WIN, what's important now, kind of thing, we need also a place for us to dump our brain. Who here has ever been reading a book and you just automatically felt something like, oh, geez, I got to feed the cat. Oh, I got to see if my car's locked. I got to check the mail. I got to turn off the TV, whatever the thing is, right? I mean, we all get that like instant, like, bam, like punch to the throat, like, oh, I got to do that thing. And then we go run around, we do all that stuff, and then we get back, and then we're not even thinking straight, all that stuff. So the recall is nothing more than having a blank sheet of paper right next to you with a pen where you can do a brain dump. When you're dialed into that project, into that block time moment, and you feel the urge to move or to do that other thing or to sign something or to grab that paperwork, you can dump it on a sheet of paper. So then after your 20-minute block, whatever, 20 minutes or an hour or 5 hours, it doesn't matter, you can look at that sheet of paper and go, okay, this is what I need to do. These are my top 10 things that I need to knock out within the next hour. I totally forgot about them, or I got to call that person, email, whatever it may be. Because the last thing that you want to do is to pull yourself away from your block time. If you pull yourself away from the block time, you are not strengthening your brain. You're getting lazy. You're getting weak, actually. And it's the same with meditation. When you're trying to achieve your win, your what's important now kind of thing, you set up a block time, you remove the distractions, you remind yourself exactly what's going on. But if you do not allow yourself if you don't remind yourself of what you're doing and you get pulled away, you absolutely are getting weaker in the moment. So use those 3 R's with your win, right? Okay, what are they? Remove. What's the second one? Remind. Come on, I know you don't know the third one. Recall. There you go. Use that with your block time. It will absolutely dictate and change the way that you enhance your life, and also you will figure out and how to dial in what's important now for you. So the third idea is this. 49 versus 51 equals 1%. I don't even know. I just made that up. I really did. 49 versus 51 equals the 1%. It's 1% difference. A teeter-totter. Okay, classic example, right? You got a teeter-totter, right? You got one kid on the left that weighs 40 pounds, and you got a kid on the right that weighs 40.1 or 40.9 or 41 pounds, aka 1% more than the other individual. I know it's not mathematically correct because a percentage, it's a pound. I get it. But nonetheless, you understand, right? That the individual that weighs even just a little bit more will be on the ground, and the individual that is lighter will be up in the air. And so what does this even mean, Jake? Get to the point here. You're losing me. It's this. Negative things and positive things comes into our minds. On average, we have around 70 to 80,000 different, we have 70,000 to 80,000 thoughts that pass through our brain every single day. Out of that 70,000 to 80,000, we have around 52 of the same 1,000 ideas that we had yesterday. I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm hungry, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta brush my teeth, gotta go in the car, fill up the car, get money, whatever, all those different ideas. But within there, we have these different thoughts that sneak on into our brain. And a majority of those thoughts are negative just by delinquent, just the way that we're wired as individuals who were born in the days when there were saber-toothed tigers tracking us down and running after us and all that crazy stuff. We're always looking for the negative in our life. If it's not a physical danger, it's an emotional danger. And so I want you to think of this. The 1% equals 3 to 1. 3 to 1. For every one negative thought that you have, you need to multiply that with 3 positive thoughts. Every negative thought that you have, you're going to need to multiply it by 3 negative thoughts. Why is that? Well, if you did 1 to 1, you'd be at 0, right? And if you did 1 to 1 equals 0, and you did one more positive thing, you would only be up by a point, right? But the reason why we did 3 is because we did 1 to 1, a negative and a positive equals 0. You do one more positive, you're up a point. And in basketball, you never want to be up just 1 point. You got to be up at least 2 points. Now, you'd be thinking, well, Jake, why don't we just go for 3 points or 4 points? That's not the point here, right? That if you go too much, then you're overextending yourself and you're not going to do it. All I'm trying to make you do is to knock out that negative idea with a 3 to 1 punch. Negative idea comes on in. Man, I don't think I can get this position. Man, I don't think I'm going to walk up to this girl and she's going to say yes or no or hi or bye or whatever the case may be. Man, I'm really struggling here. I don't have the emotional capacity to extend myself for today. That's where you need to come on in with your 3 positive punches. One of them can be I'm freaking awesome. One of them can be I can. And the third one can be I'm never going to give up. And these are simple ideas produced over time that will get you the 1% that your teeter-totter will absolutely change. All we're looking for is a little bit. There is billions of books and billions of ideas on how to enhance and change the internal language that you talk to yourself forever, right? I mean, oh my gosh, read 15 chapters on this or whatever. These are simple things done over time will produce the most results. Meditation, doing the reps, right? It doesn't matter what type of meditation. Sit your butt on the ground, be present in the moment, sit down for a minute. I guarantee your brain is going to float away from you for either 3 or 5 times. Pull that back in, you're repping it out. Number 2, figure out what's important now. Get that win. When you figure out what is important now, right now for you, what is it in your business, in your health, in your family, block that time out. Then what are the 3 things to make sure that you satisfy and you deliver on that block time is that you, number 1, you remove distractions. Number 2, you set up reminders. And number 3, you recall what is need to be done after you have that block time as a brain dump. And the last thing here, again, in a recap, is our 49 versus 51, our 1%. How do we get that? 3 to 1. For every negative thing that comes through our brain or gourd, we need to punch it out with 3 positive punches. 3 positive punches. Again, I'm freaking awesome. I can do this. You're better than this. You're capable. I love you. Man, you're an incredible individual. Gosh darn it, people like you. Whatever it is you got to say it to punch out that one negative idea. Simple things done over time will absolutely get the most results. Individuals that were consistent of moving forward, individuals that were consistent of understanding that trial and error needs to happen for success to happen are the people that quote-unquote succeed in this world. You are more than capable. You just need to keep on strengthening your brain, get being better every single day, and that's all I have. I need to get some water here. I'm starting to get a little dry mouth, cotton mouth. It all happens to us, right? All I can say is hydrate, focus on these 3 ideas. E+R equals O, your events plus the response equals the outcome. Figure out your response, control your response. Don't live in that gap of understanding that you're in control. Don't be an either or kind of guy, stimulus versus your response. And again, meditation, win it, and 1%. So from my family to yours, from me to you, from my freaking awesomeness to your freaking awesomeness, I appreciate you. I thank you. And if you want to send me a video of you screaming, I'm freaking awesome, I would absolutely love it for video number 2. And you can do that by sending it to my email, jake@operationselfreset.com. Or you can send it to my phone via text message because you know what? Everybody's taking these videos on their phones nowadays. Send me the video. Send it to 414 414-550-4012. Again, it's 414-550-4012. I will respond. That's my cell phone number. I'm giving out my cell phone. I know it's crazy and ridiculous, but that's who I am. I'm a guy that screams, I'm freaking awesome, and gives out my cell phone. So to all of our success in the days and weeks forward, until next week, Wednesday, keep on rocking it, keep on sharing the awesomeness, and go out there and get a little freaking awesome in your life. I appreciate you. We'll catch you next week for another great episode of Operation Self Reset.